there's any issues with my sound.
Will do.
Okay. So guys, thank you so much for joining. I graduated in 2011. Again, I studied chemistry and business administration. And today we're going to talk about going from kind of a technical degree, many of you are engineers, scientists, architects, to how do you get into management, and more so than just management business. Okay, so here's the agenda for today. I'm going to give you my story. I'm going to give you a little bit of background, but you know, I'm just one case out of many. So if you look to the right, we have Albert Einstein. You know, he's the truest scientist, Nobel Prize winner for theoretical, physics. Then if you go down on the left, you have Ursula Burns. You know, she studied mechanical engineering at NYU and did a master's in mechanical engineering at Columbia. Now she's the CEO of Xerox, and she's been at that position since 2009. She didn't go down the research route. You know, she didn't become a Nobel Prize laureate in mechanical engineering, nothing like that. But you know, her way worked. On the right, you have Richard Branson. You guys must know him. He's the famous CEO or founder of Virgin, and he actually had very poor academic performance, and he was a serial entrepreneur. He started at the age of 16. Now he's worth $5 billion today. So just to let you know, there's many different ways to get to the top wherever you want to get to. I'm not there yet, but I'm going to tell you my recipe for what has gone on so far. In the agenda after my story, I want to really concentrate on you guys. What is your best skill? Because Bruce Mueller is one of my business professors. He told me this a while ago. You need to really concentrate on what you're best at. That's how you're going to succeed. Definitely round yourself out with the other skills that you need to get to wherever you want to go, but you need to concentrate on what you're best at, what comes natural to you. Next, I'm going to talk about networking. I cannot emphasize this enough. Very few people actually take advantage of their network or try to build their network. So we're going to talk about why this is so important, and this might be the X factor in your future careers. Then emotional intelligence. Everyone talks about your grades, your GPA, getting straight A's, this and that. But to be honest, in the long run, after school, you have to keep up to you have to keep up with your intelligence. But the EQ side of things, the emotional intelligence, understanding others, empathy, leadership skills, that is really what's going to take you to the top and take you to where you want to get to. At the end, we'll take some Q&A. Okay, so I came into IIT actually as a biochemistry student, interested in pre-med. And you guys can see by my picture, I'm an Indian. I'm a student, Indian student at IIT. I was born in the United States, and like many Indian parents do, they pressure their kids kind of to go into the medicine route. At least that's what I see. So I was kind of pressured to do that, yet I knew inside, even in high school, that I had a desire for business, and that my skills were going to be best suited for that. So I came to IIT as a biochemistry student, but also double majoring in business. And right away, one of my first classes, I was taking organizational behavior with Bruce Mueller. He saw me present something, and he said, "Hey, Vinu, I know you're interested in medicine, but I really think you should take this business thing very seriously and go forward in that." I took his advice seriously, and I did research. I think organic chemistry research for Joy Chong my freshman year, the summer after freshman year, and maybe the next summer itself, I had gotten very lucky to get a internship, a business internship in Caesars Entertainment. So that's my first, if you guys are taking any notes, here's my first key advice. If you're right now in a technical place and you want to get to a management role or more of a holistic role, business role, all you need is your first break. All you need is that first position. I mean, people make many excuses. I studied this, how do I get it? All you need is one break. You can become a purchasing guy, you can be a woman, you can become marketing, sales, anything. You just need a little bit of business experience to move forward. So Caesars Entertainment is the largest casino gaming company in the world. I was actually doing an analytics project for them, and I got that internship through actually going to a career fair. This career fair was a private career fair. I heard about it through one of my friends at Urbana-Champaign, so I went with them in the city, and that was the last internship place I wanted to go, a casino, but it turned out to be one of the most important things that I did. Till this day, people ask me, and I keep it on my CV, very small, people ask me, what is that internship about? Wow. We actually harvested all of the data about customers from their player cards. You know, they put their card in the slot machine, and we actually harvest that data and figure out, hey, what's the average loss for Joe? He loses $100 a day. If he loses $150 a day, we're going to go up to him. We're going to give him a free buffet, maybe a free night stay at the casino, so he can lose more money. You know, unfortunately, that's the casino industry. They want their players to come in and lose money in a way. I mean, and they don't mind because they're trying to tap into a clientele who is kind of, you know, wealthier. You know, they have that disposable income to lose at a casino. So anyways, I did this internship. After that, I was lucky enough to get admitted to the Leadership Academy program, and that is where they give you a full tuition scholarship with a lot of leadership training and volunteer opportunities to kind of pay your dues. You guys must know about this, the IIT Sophomore Leadership Retreat. That is their kind of big event. So I got into this, and there was a donor dinner. So all the donors who came out to IIT, a lot of the board people, they would come and they'd have a dinner with us. And me, I was just a sophomore at the time. I really didn't know much. I just finished my casino internship, and I was seated next to John Rowe. So John Rowe is the chairman of the board of trustees at IIT, or he was in that role. Now he's transitioning more into his charter schools. He's been doing a lot of good work there. And he asked me, hey, Vinu, what do you do? He's asking all the students, and I told him, hey, I was working at this casino doing a marketing analytics type of internship. So he said, why are you working at a casino? You study chemistry. He's like, I know some people, so let's stay in touch and shoot me an email, and we'll go from there, and maybe I can introduce you to someone. Turns out he actually, I sent him an email, and then he wrote like a 3-paragraph or 2-paragraph email to the CEOs of Abbott and Baxter. And he thought that life sciences would be a better place for me because of my degree. So because of that, of course, I got some attention to kind of move the interview process, and I did a pharmaceutical sales internship at Abbott Laboratories, where I actually go and call on doctors and try to convince them to prescribe the Abbott drug versus, you know, other competitors. And this was very insightful. Again, it's more businessy, but also mixed with the science. So that's another piece of, you know, strong advice I have for you guys when you're looking to transition. If you're looking to transition, leverage the skill that you have. Target those companies that are really going to look highly upon those skills that you have in those hard sciences, engineering, or any other discipline. I mean, computer science, I missed that. That's a huge discipline in IT that's great. So make sure you leverage that. After those internships, I got my first, you know, full-time job after graduation, and that was at a company called MCO Chemical Distributors. There's a private chemical firm based in the Midwest, but growing very rapidly, about 300 people, and it's owned by one guy. Turns out I was speaking to John Twombly. He's an accounting professor and advisor in the business program, undergraduate program, and I kept a close relationship with him, and he had told me, hey, Vinu, I met some guy who was hiring. He owns a chemical company, and I told him about you because you're the only guy who studied chemistry and business. So I said, okay, great, let me go find out it. So I emailed Twombly. Twombly put me in touch with the president of MCO. I interviewed. I got that job. I worked there for 3.5 years. The best experience of my life, to be honest. Out of all my work, even my current work, I miss that place. But that's how it is. It's a family-run environment, and you really enjoy those type of environments. So after 3.5 years, after 3 years, I realized I really need to go and get an MBA. I wanted to do that for a long time. It was kind of instilled by my parents as well. My dad's in consulting, so even though they originally wanted me to do medicine, they knew if I was going to go business that I should go and get a master's. And you know, they wanted me to go to a top school. So Chicago has Kellogg, which is Northwestern, and University of Chicago, Booth, and of course IIT Stewart School, DePaul. So they really wanted me to stay here. I knew that I went to high school in Chicago, Stevenson High School, went to IIT. I wanted to get away. I wanted to get some real international experience. So what better place to go than another English-speaking place like London? So I applied to Imperial College London. Many people in the U.S. don't know about that school, but it's actually kind of like the MIT of Europe. They have the best engineering and medicine program there, and their business program is growing rapidly and getting a lot of funding. The main reason I picked that school is because the class size of the full-time MBA program was only 65 people. And so I wanted it to be very close-knit. My whole life, I've been at IIT and benefiting from the small class size, small network. So again, I wanted to go do that. I went to London for a year, and I immediately wanted to come back feeling homesick, feeling that I should definitely work in the U.S. for long term. So I networked to one of my old managers at Emco Chemical. He told me about his son working at Galt. Galt & Company is a strategy consulting firm competing with McKinsey and Bain, BCG. They help companies that are in a lot of trouble. And so a lot of big public companies, Fortune 100 companies, they figure out a plan to increase their profits over time, which will then correlate to increased stock price. So I'm at Galt & Company right now. Actually, I just got back from a project in India. And so that's kind of my quick background. If you notice, again, almost every internship, every job that I've gotten was through my network. I did not apply randomly online once. So I just want you to keep that in your head. Okay, let's concentrate on you guys. I wish there was more discussion based. I could see you, but for right now, let's just go through what I think you guys should concentrate on. Find out, identify what is your best skill. Are you a quant? Do you love numbers? Do you like speaking with people? Do you like creative ideas? This is really going to, do you like art? These are the kind of things that are really going to help you focus on where you want to be when you're, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, wherever, down your career. For me, I think my best skills are actually kind of speaking, getting in touch with people, making connections, persuasion. So a lot of people say I'm a good salesman, even though I've never really done that job other than an internship. So for me, long term, I'm going to concentrate on that, yet I'm going to round myself out with the other skills. So that's why I have the Excel logo right there. Right now in my career, people are wanting me to become a professional in Excel, in financial modeling, understanding the numbers of a company so you can understand the financial health. Okay, so make sure you round yourself out with the right skills as well, and not just concentrate on what you're best at. But definitely the focus is what you're best at. Next is take calculated risks to progress your career. Your career, if you just stay at one place for the rest of your life, that's good for some people. But the point of this talk is hopefully that you guys want to progress your career and transition maybe from a hardcore engineering, science, or computer science type background, or whatever it may be, to more of a general management or more of a business role. So make sure you're taking those calculated risks to progress your career. You have to take risks, or there's no reward. And the way you do that is by networking, talking to people. Speak to all the older people that you see. I mean, I don't want to be age discriminatory or anything like that, but they've gone down this path. They're 50, 60, whatever they are. Those people are the most insightful. They can give you advice. They can connect you with others. You just have to put the effort. You just have to put the word out there. Put yourself out there. Next is, this is told by my recent, one of my old bosses recently to me after getting career advice. He said, shoot for the stars, Vinu, and at worst you'll land on the moon. Don't become complacent out there. You really need to shoot for the stars. Next, lastly, I have the picture for this slide. I've got Tim Cook and Steve Jobs there. I want to emphasize these guys have different skill sets. One guy is a true creative visionary. The other guy is trying to be that right now, Tim Cook, but he's an operations guy. He knows how to crunch more product out there, how to get it faster, supply chain, those type of things. So as we see the future of Apple, we'll see, does Apple keep Tim Cook there, who's truly an operations guy, or do they need someone else like a Steve Jobs? Or is there something even like that? We'll wait and see, but I want you to just see, these are two leaders, two CEOs of Apple, but they have different skill sets. Okay, next, networking. Man, I cannot emphasize how important this is to your career. I believe, actually, without your network, you won't go anywhere. And your network is in your company. It's people you went to high school with, people you go to college with, your friends' parents, their friends, people you play golf with randomly on the golf course or whatever sport or activity you may do. I mean, everyone should be in your network, and you should build genuine networks. It's very easy to see when people are kind of fishing for more people in their network. You know, hey, what's it? Can I get your contact information? What do you do? Be genuine. Ask people about their lives. Ask them what they do. Say, hey, do you mind if I stay in touch with you? I'd love to, you know, get some mentorship from you, some advice. This is how you're going to grow your career. Because the next opportunity, and I'll show you some upcoming slides, it's not always posted online. Or if it is posted online, there's probably someone internal or someone through a network that is going to be pulled into that role, that business role, that managerial role. So make sure you're networking actively. And if you guys have questions on this, I'm happy to help out later on. Okay? If you do not ask, it will not happen. Okay? You see the shy guy in the picture, the lady pulling him over. You know, you have to get out of your barrier sometimes. Your career path is very long, so you'll continuously need new mentors. So those people in your network need to be your coaches, and you're going to need new coaches as you keep going. You know, Michael Jordan, he had a high school coach. You know, he goes to North Carolina. He's got another coach. Now he's in the NBA. He's got Phil Jackson. He had a bunch of coaches before Phil Jackson. So you need new mentors. Now he needs other mentors. Now he has people running his organization, his team, his enterprise. He keeps getting new mentors and new people to work with. So make sure you're continuously not ditching the old ones, but getting new ones as well, because you always need people's help. So here's just some facts on networking. It's really funny. I found this on Snapchat. So if you look on the picture on the left, only 15 to 20% of available jobs are ever publicly listed. 85% of jobs are filled via referral. So make sure that you're very strategic when you're looking for these jobs and looking for these opportunities. Use the 80-20 rule on the right-hand side. 80% of your time should be spent networking if you're looking for jobs. 20% should be spent with schmoozing with strangers. And those strangers may even be recruiters. My experience with recruiters is they're often decent if you find the right recruiter, the right kind of mentality, and I think that comes later on in your career. Recruiters in the beginning can just give you jobs that just like fill in gaps, this and that. It may not help you in your long-term career, but not to say that they cannot be helpful. So network, network, network. Next, if you really want to succeed in business and succeed and become a leader in an organization, and again, my passion is leadership, you need to concentrate on something called emotional intelligence. I'm sure you may have heard of this. If you just Google emotional intelligence, EQ, Harvard Business Review, anything like that, there's plenty of publications that tell you about this. But it's about scoring yourself on your social awareness, self-awareness, self-management, self-regulation, and relationship management. So, do you make the decision to get this work done before you go out and play? Self-regulation. Do you discipline yourself to ask for help, ask questions? Do you understand how to persuade others? Do you understand, how to seem confident? It doesn't matter if you're introvert, extrovert. History has shown that leaders come from all different types of personality types, but they work on it. So make sure, I don't want to drone in on this because we want to make this more of a street talk, but this is a little bit of the academic side, but you need to really, this is a core ideology I take, and I always try to make myself better at this. Lastly, I just want to tell you guys, your career is a long road, and there's going to be a lot of hurdles. You might lose a job. Kind of try to be positive. You need to really focus on being positive and looking for the next opportunity always, looking how you're going to learn, how you're going to round yourself out. With that said, let's take some questions, and then we can elaborate on anything else that we need to talk about. Chanel, do I need to pass anything on to you, or how do we open this up for questions?
So it is open for questions. If you guys have your phones muted and you would like to ask a question, of course, unmute it. We also have the chat available, so if you wanted to type in a question, I can read that out loud for the group and for Vinu to answer.
And you guys, the questions can be related to this or even a little bit on the side, so feel free.
I actually have a question.
Sure.
Wait for other questions to come in. So I know you said kind of try different things and see what works for you. And I know that one of the things that a lot of people pretty much, well, not everyone, a lot of people do push going into management or leadership roles. Do you think that just thinking about what you were saying about trying to find what's for you. Do you think there is some sort of leadership position for everyone?
Yes. So that's kind of why I had Albert Einstein in the beginning. You know, Albert Einstein was a true technical guy, a physicist, and though he's not running a company and things like that, he achieved great things. So is there a leadership role for everyone? I think there is, and there also isn't. Um, if you want to be a leader or a project manager, kind of in a smaller team, that's how you start out. You need to project manage, start small, and then move on. Even myself right now, you know, I'm 28 right now, and I'm getting different positions, but it's not like at Emco Chemicals where I was managing 10 people. Now they want me to do a lot of number crunching and get that skill up to par. So it's kind of a mix. I think you have to start somewhere, and then also you can't say that you're never going to be a leader. As I said, I mean, why not? If you value your skills and you value leading others and you value your insights, then I think there is a leadership role for many people. It just depends what it is, and it comes in all different sizes. I don't know if that answered that question exactly, but I'm very optimistic. I'm a very optimistic type guy, so I think anyone can practice leadership.
Thank you, Vanu. Did we have any more questions?
Hello?
Yes.
If you don't mind, actually, just introduce yourself very quickly. What do you study, or what did you study, and where you're at, and you can ask your question. I'd appreciate that.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. My name is Rokaya. I know Chanel. I have a question, and I'm into a project controls position, and my dream would be to go into project management. And my question would be how to go about that.
Sure. I didn't catch the first part. What did you say you're doing right now?
Project controls.
Project controls. What is that exactly?
It's basically cost and scheduling.
Cost and scheduling. Okay, got it. Yeah. So project management is such a huge thing. I mean, you can do that at many different levels, at any different kind of organization, any kind of industry. So really, you have to find your niche and try to concentrate where can you pivot into. So I'm not too familiar with project controls, but again, see in your existing organization, are there opportunities? Are you communicating with your boss, your boss's boss, about your desires, how you want to grow? That's my initial kind of advice. Speak to others, let them know what your desire is. Ask them what is needed. Then you work on those skills. And then if you want, there's also a lot of certifications, those type of things. If you want to become a professional, project manager, there's PMP, these kind of certifications, and you can.
Hello?
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, I'm here.
So yeah, start internally. See if you can speak to someone in your current company, current organization. Branch out. Have you spoken to anyone? Have you networked and spoken this desire to people and asked for advice yet?
Not really.
Okay.
I've just been thinking about it. I'm a fresh graduate, so I was wondering maybe uh, I can work a little bit and then figure out how to do it.
So definitely, and again, it almost seems kind of repetitive and boring, but network, speak to people who have been there. The best thing for you to learn how to become a project manager is to speak to 5 different project managers. Ask them how they got there, and I'm sure you will get there.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Rakaya. Okay. So at this moment, if we don't have more questions, Vinu, I'm going to take over as the presenter.
There's a Chanel. Can I just show 2 slides on the appendix really quick?
Sure. Give me one moment.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't tell you that ahead.
No problem. There you
It's
go.
taking 30 seconds.
There you go.
All right, guys, just some very quick, again, some Snapchat stuff. So on your CVs, remember the average time that people may read your CV, they might glance at it for 6 seconds. So make sure you tailor your work experience. You know, like you just asked about project management, how do I get in there? Look at the traits that are needed in project management. Make sure that's in your CV. Make sure you're tailoring your CV to whatever role you're going for. And then, you know, I'm the kind of guy, I've applied for different jobs at the same time, consulting, marketing. So I need to make sure I've got 2 different versions of that CV. You know, at least showing that why I'm good in marketing, why I might be good in another role. Again, learn LinkedIn. Make sure it's really professional. Make sure your picture is professional. You know, if you don't know what that means, you just Google it. I promise you, you will find so many things on LinkedIn. So we just got one question. Let me answer this because I think it's pertaining to us. How do you maintain, Junaid Ali, thank you for asking, how do you maintain multiple CVs on LinkedIn? So actually on LinkedIn, you don't want to have multiple CVs. So in LinkedIn, and also your LinkedIn is not going to be exactly a CV. It may go a little bit more in depth, or it could be, you know, in the beginning, in the top, you might have the quick snapshot, 3 bullet points, what you're best at, kind of you're highlighting your attention getter in a way. Then you might have more in depth of what you're good at. So in LinkedIn, you just want to have a clear, holistic story of, you know, what is your experience, your educational background, anything creative that you might do. I used to have a dance team at IIT. You know, people go crazy, but they always ask me about that. They could care less about my business degree sometimes. You know, these things that help you stand out, make sure you have it. People appreciate creativity. I hope that answers your question. Lastly, I've kind of spent most of my time talking about networking, and it would be a shame if we don't stay in touch. So please, you know, take down my email, take down my name. If you guys shoot me an email, if you want to have coffee, if you want to chat or anything, just stay connected. Have a quick 5-minute phone call. This is your first opportunity to kind of progress your career, progress your network, because there's that saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But more than that, it's what you know and who you know. So Chanel, you can take over. I just wanted to let them know that I invite everyone to be in my network, and hopefully they reach out.
And Vinu, just a quick question. You're in Chicago, correct? Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
No, I couldn't hear you. Are you, are you physically in Chicago?
I'm physically in Chicago, yes.
Okay, just an FYI for the people who are on the phone.
I'm physically in Chicago, and my family and my little brother, he's in Buffalo Grove, so I'm often in the north suburbs. But yeah, just stay in touch with me, and if you guys have any questions in the future, please reach out.
Okay. Do we have any more questions or comments? Okay. Well, thank you very much, Vinu. I think that everyone enjoyed that. I know I did. If you guys would like to see this webinar or share it with anyone who wasn't on the call or the web today, we do have an archive. I'm going to share that web address with you in just a brief moment. Give me a moment as I transition over. Let's see.
Could you say it too? I'm not able to see whatever's written.
Give me one moment. Okay. So first I want to share the information about the next Hawk Talk. So the next Hawk Talk that we will have is on December 7th, which is a Wednesday, and we'll have Arun Prakash, who's also an alum, and he will be discussing how you go from engineering to investing. Please join us for that. And if you would like to get more information about our career services here at Illinois Tech. You should see the link here. It is web.iit.edu/career services. It is web.iit.edu/career-services/alumni. And the Hawk Talk archive, where you can see this and other past Hawk Talks, is alumni.iit.edu/career-management-seminar-videos. I hope you guys caught that. Thank you all for joining us today. This webinar will be posted within the next few days. Give us until next Tuesday and you should be able to view this. And feel free to send any emails or questions to me at alumni.iit.edu. Okay. Thank you, guys.